Hey guys, welcome as promised. I like to use my AI, and my Chat GPT said, it was time for you to do a video on Web3 security and privacy. And it did mention that there was a gentleman that we really want to talk to, and it just so happens that I knew him anyway. So glad Seth from Mine Your Biz was able to join us for a little Web3 privacy security conversation about what should we be doing? Obviously, as we get ready to get into this next, bull market, obviously scammers, the activity increases. And so, with that being said, what are some privacy challenges that we're seeing now? What's the role that we should take as individuals to mitigate these risks, and just really to enjoy the ethos of what decentralization and blockchain is.
Yeah, awesome. First off, JChains, thank you so much for having me on your channel. It means a lot. We've spent a lot of time IRL at events, enjoying nightlife, and then of course enjoying stage time together where we discuss some of these topics in person. So it's this kind of feels like this more of the same, man. And just
Yeah.
I'm ready to get to work with you here with your audience, the Web3 Breakfast audience and the JChains audience. So thank you. This is
Absolutely,
great.
man. I definitely appreciate it, you making the time to do this. I know it's, this is the time to be collaborating and working with, all the friends, especially, as I develop the new channel, build it and grow it out, is to collaborate with, friends in the industry that are really subject matter experts in what they know, because then it only it really, it helps the community learn from a higher level because, we can be experts in really one thing, and knowing that, really, again, I made the joke about ChatGPT, telling me to talk to you, but, really like the serious thing was that ChatGPT said it's time to make a video about privacy and security. And like, as soon as I saw the words come out from the screen, I'm like, well, I know who I'm going to talk to. It's you, because you're the guy, you are the one that I know in this industry that knows the most about this. And so, the lessons that we can all take from you, I think, resonate with just about everybody.
Awesome. Well, let's do this then. Let's start by asking and then answering the question, why would anyone want to be more secure or private with their cryptocurrency? And for anybody that hasn't answered that question or hasn't really thought about it very long or asked that question, I can give you two reasons, right? The first one is that in the future, we won't know what the successor to ChatGPT will or won't be able to see on blockchain. And we don't know really how intelligent it will be in terms of making the blockchain totally de-anonymized. So removing your privacy, not because there's some third party that has, just twisting their mustache and thinking about how they can ruin your life, but just because AI is becoming so powerful
Mhm.
that we don't understand from today what the future applications will be. So that's number one. We don't know where the world is going. So having an increased level of privacy now will help you maintain some very important privacy into the future. That's thing number one. Thing number two, as far as answering that question, is security. Today, you can get wrecked. You can get hacked. You can have your wallet drained. There's all kinds of horror stories. And I think we were both just mentioning off camera that when we were early to crypto, when we were first getting involved in blockchain and cryptocurrencies, I think we both had that anxiety of, okay, I'm going to double, triple, maybe quadruple check this sending address, this receiving address,
Oh yeah.
so that I don't accidentally either burn my coins or accidentally send them to some unintended recipient, right? And it's just so easy to
Right.
do with cryptocurrency, and there are no chargebacks.
What are some like high profile incidents you think within like the Web3 ecosystem of recently that would take note to kind of play into this whole idea of the
Yeah,
privacy and security
some very high
challenges?
profile cases would be not just the bridge hacks, because there's only so much you can do about that, but the high profile wallets being drained. We see on Twitter in particular, in the NFT promotion ecosystem, there have been several high profile hacks and high profile wallets drained in the last just 6 months alone. And one really visible example was a guy by the name of NFT God. And it's kind of an unfortunate name to call yourself NFT God and have a mere mortal drain your wallet, but it happened, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing personal, because this person came forward and said, "Hey, you know what? I made a mistake. Let's turn it into a learning opportunity." So, kudos to NFT God for that, right? Finding the silver lining and helping the community to learn from that mistake. But there were all kinds of problems with the way that NFT God was holding his crypto and his NFTs. Namely, he set up a hardware wallet, and wrote down the seed phrase, did all the security stuff you're supposed to do with your cryptocurrencies, but then got lazy or impatient one quarter when he was trying to do more active trading, and took that seed phrase that would have kept his hardware wallet very, very secure and decided to just use that directly inside of MetaMask and turn it into a hot wallet. So your seed phrase is only as secure as the way you handle it. And that's the top
Yeah.
thing. If your audience learns nothing else, just be aware that for as long as we use seed phrases for crypto security, that is the main event. That's the thing that you have to keep under lock and key, that nobody, not even your own mother and father, can know, right? Like, you got to keep it totally
Yeah.
secret, keep it totally safe.
It's funny. I just put out a video recently to that same effect, saying that, like, if there obviously, you've got your family wallets, you've got, maybe your business wallets, all that stuff where, maybe your private keys are, through, like a third party or whatever, however you have things set up. But, like, there, you should have a wallet that no one has any knowledge about, and you're the only one has the private key too. And I said, even your wife, like, it is what it is, but you have a succession plan, and it's not to, like, hide or anything. It's, listen, like, that is your cold storage wallet. That's something that you keep safe and you keep that near and dear to you, but you have a succession plan for it. So if there is an untimely death, you've got, your dead man switch that then would, trigger that information to
Right.
whoever
And thinking
needs
that
to
far
get it.
ahead, JChains, you mentioned it, even having a seed phrase that is something that only you control if you're in a committed relationship, right? A marriage. Even your spouse, right, will appreciate that you're taking this amount of forethought and taking this amount of accountability for your own finances. I think there's a great book called, just relevant book recommendation right now. It's called Way of the Superior Man. And it's not about being
Mhm.
exclusionary or exclusive, with your spouse, but doing things that help you become a more whole person. So you have, instead of two halves, you have two whole people coming into a relationship. Managing your own seed phrase is one of those ways that you prove you're a more complete and whole person for your spouse. So you're actually improving your relationship by having that level of forethought and insight into your finances.
There you go. Any ladies watching that, just know your man's looking out for you. All right. So, we talked a second ago, maybe, some high profile stuff with the bridge hacks. Let me ask you a question, Seth. Like, what are maybe some, and because, we know that there's a lot of vulnerabilities. We know that crypto is volatile. We know all that kind of stuff. And so, taking all of that stuff maybe off the table, what has the blockchain industry and ecosystem done right as far as privacy and security goes, maybe to solve a challenge from a traditional standpoint?
Yeah, so some things that have been done right from day one. Satoshi didn't enjoy seed phrases. Those were not a part of the Bitcoin specification when Satoshi was
Mhm.
still active and public. But Satoshi did understand something about what I like to call wallet hygiene. And that just means not reusing addresses. As much as you can, don't reuse addresses. Now, it's made easier in protocols like Bitcoin, and it's made a little more difficult in account systems like Ethereum and all of the other EVM like networks such as Polygon, Binance Smart Chain, and then several others that have this same structure. Now, Coinbase's platform base, and apparently Kraken is going to launch their own as well. But anything where you could use MetaMask, much harder
Mhm.
to prevent address reuse. It is possible though. So that's something that the industry has largely gotten right, but that users just find to be a little bit more difficult to manage in a practical way day to day. But the specification, right? The technology allows for people to do this. It just requires a little bit more effort. So it's kind of like, whatever. If you have an older car where you have to manually lock the door when you shut down your car and you park it in the driveway, it's an extra
Mhm.
step as opposed to, when you walk away and it no longer senses your key, shutting it down for you, locking it down. But if you're lazy about it, the results could be catastrophic, right? So get into those habits. But the spec, it already contained a lot of the security
Mhm.
stuff that we needed for a long time.
Yeah, dude, I guarantee you 100%, because I'm one of them. I know that my wallet game has gotten super sloppy throughout the build market, and so as we, get back and charge for the bull, that's going to be happening, within the next several months, year, whatever, however long it lasts. It's getting that wallet security, getting that, clean it back up. Get yourself a new hot wallet, get yourself a new cold wallet. All of my cold storage, not, I wouldn't say all my cold storage, but some of those wallets that I had set up for myself, throughout, as we were starting to enter the bear market, where I would transition coins into NFTs and just, slide them off to the side just so that I had something pretty to look at or something fun to look at, versus a down portfolio, which I think ultimately worked against me. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hashtag not financial advice. I think when it comes to security, you can do everything right. It's what is this? Is this the I forget which Star Wars captain this quote is from. It might have been Picard. But you can do everything right and still lose, right? When it comes to security, your portfolio can still be upside down, right, at the end of a year.
Yeah.
So just be aware. Like all the security stuff, it doesn't help you keep the value in your portfolio. It just helps you prevent your tokens and your NFTs from getting stolen. So
Yeah.
it's a battle on a different front of this war. So
Last question for you. Top 3 best practices for keeping your digital identity safe. What would you teach somebody would be those top 3 best practices?
top three best practices. Number one is use a password management tool such as Bitwarden. That one that I just mentioned, Bitwarden, is free and open source. You can host it on your own if you're a bit more technically inclined. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but it'll help you create ultra secure passwords for all of your online activities and
Mhm.
help you from reusing passwords that way. More people get tripped up by this than you might realize, JChains. Another high profile hack from a peer of ours, it's been a couple of years now, but a guy named Omar Bam, right? Crypto's
Oh,
news.
yeah.
He got hacked in the most spectacular fashion by having his email become insecure and having basically the credentials not be hardened enough. And a password management tool like Bitwarden would have helped him prevent that heartache, right? And all of us, right? We were crying with him when he got a significant portion of his portfolio stolen. But
Right.
that's one of those things where it had nothing to do with blockchain security. It had everything to do with just general cybersecurity. So use a password manager. That's number one. Number two, be more involved in VPNs, right? And in routing the traffic from your laptop and your phone through a VPN and through other mixed nets. But a VPN is the easiest thing in the world. I imagine,
Mhm.
JChains, you are already an affiliate for a great VPN. So if you are, man, put that affiliate link in the description of this video because your audience probably needs to use a VPN more frequently. So that's number two.
Right. And the one thing you got to say about the VPNs is because I think they get a dirty impression because it makes people think like, oh, what are you hiding and what are you trying to do? Like, no, like you literally, it's going to help your security, but like any kind of trading that you do, any kind of crypto activity you do should be as a security protocol, a safety protocol, be behind a VPN. That's just
Yes.
what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And these first two tips, most people say, well, that's neither one of these things have anything to do with blockchain. Well, they do, just not directly. Indirectly, they
Yeah.
create an environment where your activities online are more secure. And that helps everything you're doing with blockchain inherit more security. So the
Right.
third thing is, though, and this is much more directly aimed at blockchain, right? And holding cryptocurrencies. You mentioned it before, JChains, where you said maybe consider making a new cold wallet and a new hot wallet for the upcoming bull run. That's accurate. When you do that, set up a brand new seed phrase and sweep or transfer all of the holdings from the other wallets into newly provisioned and newly segmented wallets, right? So where your wallet hygiene game maybe wasn't great 2 years ago, today's a new day. You can start over right now, fresh, as you're setting up these new wallets or setting up these new seed phrases, this new seed phrase with all the accompanying wallets, and make sure that you have something set aside for savings. Or if you have children, make sure you have wallets set aside for them. And you're just
Mm.
dollar cost averaging some of your bag into a separate wallet for them. Just a little bit of planning, a little bit of forethought goes a long way there. And if you're setting up new wallets anyway, it's going to take you 5 minutes longer. So why not do it now? It's
That's
free.
it. All right. Well, man, hey, I appreciate you hopping in here with me. Those were some pretty good best practices. I would have said, like just never give your seed phrase out, right? Uh,
Yeah, we're going to take for granted that after the start of this video, everyone's already
yeah,
sufficiently paranoid about seed phrases. So,
good, good. Never give it to anybody. Not anyone beside yourself should know your seed phrase to your mega wallet. We'll call it the mega wallet.
sure, yeah, Mega Wallet. So I would say, based on my third point there, JChains, I want to get you out of the mindset of having a mega wallet to begin with, right? So think of it
Yeah,
as
I mean,
kind of like cash under the mattress. You would be crazy to keep $1 million under the mattress. If you were going to keep $1 million in cash at home, think about all the little hidey holes where you would stick, 10,000 here, 100 grand there, 15 grand in a bug out bag that only the
mhm.
wife has access to, 5 grand in a bug out bag for the kiddo, right? Like you would get creative. I know you would. You get creative with it.
So Marty Bird, when he put all that cash in the walls of the little cabin in Ozark, that's not the move.
Maybe not. Yeah, because
All right.
yeah, it is. It is. I've heard cash is flammable. Don't know. I haven't touched it in years, but yeah.
Hey, that would be a great cabin to rent for the night and have the wall fall apart. Like, hey, let's go. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you being here. We got links down below to all your stuff, so people can follow you. And listen, today was just kind of a hey, let's just talk about this really quick. Really, if you want to know more about security and blockchain and just digital, what are you digital hygiene? You want to call it that? Your digital hygiene? Yeah, yeah.
Sure,
If you need
sure.
to clean up your digital hygiene, make sure you check out Seth and Mind Your Biz because they will clean you right up.
That can I do a micro shill on that?
100%.
Awesome. If you go to mineyour.biz, I offer a free email series. It's free education. You will need to sign up with an email, but I'll send you 21 emails that just release out to your email inbox daily and just make some of those steps that JChains and I just covered very, very approachable, right? Just a single lesson per day where you can have time to let it digest and figure out, okay, how am I going to put that advice into practice? And it's entirely geared towards things like security and privacy. So it just complements any of the other world-class education that you're already getting from JChains channel.
My gosh, man, I love the sound. I'm going to sign up for that. I would love a tip a day to keep the scammers away. I love it.
Let's go.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Seth.